Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Chronicles channel. This video takes a look at the best fantasy assets based on their projected points in Game Week 4 and the following 6 weeks. Always useful information when making transfers and selecting a captain. Points projected are brought to you by Fantasy Football Fix. First, let's talk about the goalkeepers. Sanchez is favoured to score the most at home against Forest with 4.4. It's worth mentioning that Chelsea have signed Serbian goalkeeper Petrovic from the MLS. There is no need to worry just yet. We just wait and see if the Spaniard maintains his current position. Up until week 8, Chelsea's schedule is quite favourable. If you need to shore up their defence, he's a solid investment. With 4.4 predicted points, Flecken sits in second place against Bournemouth on home turf. He had a touch of bad luck in Game Week 3, when his clean sheet fell short, but otherwise, Brentford is solid defensively at home. Despite having the highest points tally among keepers with 19, Leno doesn't make the cut for this week's projections. But looking at the goalkeeper saves odds for this week, he has the highest projected save tally at 5.4. Fulham's next opponent, Manchester City, ranks third in the league in shots on goal, behind only Newcastle and Brighton. Interestingly, Pickford is predicted to score 4 FPL points. When compared to their projected goal conceded over the last 3 games, Everton's defence is one of the worst underachievers, having allowed 5 goals while being projected to let up only 4. Onto the defenders, and Chilwell is top, with 4.6 expected points for the Forest game. Chelsea's right winger could exploit the 9 crosses that Nottingham has allowed from their right side. They've given up 24 goals in their previous 10 away games, so keep that in mind. In second place, with 4.7 points, is Anderson. Last time out, he helped his club salvage a 1-1 draw with Brentford, after being directly involved in the game-tying goal. Given that he is tied with Matty Cash for the most points in FPL, he's attracted considerable attention from managers. Ruben Dias is predicted to score 4.2 this week. He appears to be the most nailed City defender, after Manuel Akanji was unexpectedly dropped in the last game. This week the bookies has given a 53% chance for Manchester City to keep a clean sheet, so you could buy him instead if you aren't keen on Ederson. Trent also makes the list, which is a surprise, since he has a tough game against Aston Villa. A clean sheet seems very unlikely, especially since they host Villa, who score a lot, and considering Van Dijk's suspension. Kieran Trippier isn't on this list, but he's expected to get 24 points over the next 6 game weeks. For those who still have Luke Shaw, he could be a decent buy. He actually tops all defenders in successful crosses with 9. Next are the midfielders, and Salah has the most predicted points with 6.5. He's second overall for Game Week 4. He hasn't scored a goal yet this season, but his numbers look good. He has an XG of 2.08, which is actually second only to Mbemo among mids. It's tough to make a case for captaining him anytime soon, and if you don't have him, there are arguably better options at half his price. Mbemo at 6 million cheaper than Salah provides incredible value and ranks second among mids this week. If we look at this week's goal scoring odds, Brentford is second only to Man City. They'll be taking against Bournemouth, who allow the second most shots in the league behind only Fulham. The decision between Sterling and Maddison has many managers split. This week, Sterling is expected to get 5.1 points, while Maddison can only muster 4.5. Maddison, though, is expected to outscore Sterling throughout the next 6 games, with a predicted 28.9 points. Looking at the assist data ahead of Week 4, Foden comes in at third place with 35 chance of him assisting. He was benched in the last match, but luckily for his owners, he came through with a late assist. Owners' patience has been tried with Son because of his obvious talent but lack of FPL points. He's still a hold in my opinion, with a relatively easy fixture against Burnley at Turf Moor. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you found this video helpful. Before we go on to the forwards, now we'll look to the attackers, where Haaland ranks first. He still remained the staple standout captain for this week. Fulham, his upcoming opponent, has the worst predicted goals against figure of any team in the league thus far. He's been given a 67% chance of scoring against Fulham in the Game Week 4 bookie scores data. This also makes the list for this week's projections with 5 points. With his 22 points, he leads all forwards in FPL. So far, he has scored 4 more points than the Norwegian. It's never too late with Nicholas Jackson, as he still looks a great buy with Nottingham Forest in Game Week 4, followed by Bournemouth, Aston Villa and Fulham. Also on the list is Julian Alvarez, with 3.8 projected points for this weekend. Sunday, against Sheffield United, he took 8 shots and was also on most set pieces. Fulham, his next opponent, has given up more chances to score from set pieces with than any other team so far. Isaac falls short of the prediction list because his next 2 games are against Brighton and Brentford. After coming off the bench against Fulham, Jesus is expected to start against United, but keep an eye on the presses this week. Our video for this week is now complete. We appreciate your viewing. If you did find it helpful, you can show your appreciation by clicking the like button and subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions about Week 4, please leave a comment and I'll try my best to answer them. I'll be looking forward to seeing you at the next one.